Going on? It's the one, aka that R&B dude, and you're watching Unscripted.
DJ Complex.
Oh, oh, yeah.
Now today I want to talk about a subject that's it's personal to my heart. It's something that I've talked to others about, and they feel the same way I feel, or they have the same concerns. And that is, where did the love go? And when I say where did the love go, I'm talking about in life in general. Where in the state of America, in the state of what we see that's going on in this world, you have to ask yourself, where did the love go? There was a time when you were younger, and this could be whatever age you're at the time. If you go back at some point in your life, there was a time when you felt like love was more prevalent and more existent in that time of your life. But the question that you have to ask yourself is, where did the love go? I think when it comes down to life in general, we in our innocence, in our younger age, we're in a pure state. We're in a state where we haven't experienced life and what life brings, whether it be good or bad. And that's allowed us to be in a state of without warning, without knowing what's to come. When we go through heartbreak, when we go through someone doing us wrong, when we go through someone backbiting us, being betraying us, being trifling towards us, lying to us, what that does is it builds up a wall and it builds up a barrier that causes each of us to resist at giving love. Love has become so conditional. Why? Because some of us that have given love sincerely have gotten the short end of the stick when it comes down to love. So what we do is we resist the opportunity to give love until further notice, or until we receive love. I think the key with this issue is for us to individually decide if we love what love feels like when we give it, and if we love what love feels like when we receive it. If we do both of those things, if we feel that we appreciate it both ways, giving and receiving, then what the main variable in that whole thing is love. If you enjoy love, received or given, then you have to develop being a loving person unconditionally. That means that you shouldn't allow anybody to determine how you are when it comes down to being defined as a loving person. Me, I realize that I have the gift of love. Anybody who knows me knows that when they gain my energy, they gain a loving energy. When it comes to male interaction, one thing I notice about men is we're so afraid to tell each other we love each other. Yo, man, I appreciate you. Yeah, man, I dig it. We'll say every word, but I love you. But it's because that's the way that we were brought up. So many men that we followed in our own lives didn't say it. So we didn't say it. So many men that we saw, they didn't hug. Everything was about, but to me, one thing I've learned, and I was the same way at some point in my life. I didn't like to say I love you. But in this place that I am in my life, I'm so secure in my masculinity. I'm so sure about what love means to me. I'm so sure about what I like to feel like when I give off love, that I don't mind telling my brother I love him. You know, as a matter of fact, go to the prisons, go visit some jails, go visit some people that have lost love based on something being taken from them called life. I guarantee you, if you've ever talked to somebody in a prison and they got a lot of time, or they got a good duration of time, they won't mind saying I love you. Why? Because they appreciate love now. Now, you as a free man, you as a free woman, you have the opportunity to say you love, but what has happened is so many things have happened in your life where you forgot that you have a responsibility to give what it is that you're asking for. The reason why this world is in the state that it's in is because we all lack the mentality to give love without condition. But if we get to that place where we learn to share love or give love, then it's going to be reciprocated all the way down, regardless of wherever we are. I myself do little things sometimes. I mean, I could be at Walmart. I could be at a grocery store, and I may say something. I may do this. Okay, this is something I do. Chivalry is somewhat dead in so many people's eyes, especially women. I'm gonna tell you why I know. Is because I strategically hold doors for women when it comes. I can be at the YMCA grocery store. I'll hold the door and they say, "Oh, thank you. I didn't even know chivalry existed." Well, that lets you know that in their lives they don't get that often. But for me, it doesn't cost me anything to be loving. That's a loving gesture. But what that does is it gives the opportunity for a woman to know what it feels like to be loved unconditionally. Am I gonna marry her? No. Am I gonna date her? No. What I'm doing is I'm making her energy for that moment feel like someone who doesn't even know her, they matter to that person, or she matters to me. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to a guy, I interact with guys and I tell guys, I can speak to a guy, but I speak to him with a sincere heart. And he like, y'all appreciate it. So every time he sees me, he know, you know what, that's a good dude. Now I could be the most trifling dude in the world, but because of how I interacted for that moment with that guy, he labeled me as a good dude because of the gesture that I gave him at that time. Now, I'm a musician. I'm a singer. So for me, music is a very vital tool as why we've lost love. Love is not being promoted as much in music anymore. Hatred is being promoted. I'm going to get you before you get me is being promoted. Now, I can't really go into detail as what songs, but you all listen to the radio. You all download the music. You hear the type of energy. Man, listen, I'm from the 90s. I'm from an era where love was about. We had Jodeci. We had Dave Hollister. We had so many different, we had Joe. We had so many different narrators is what I call these singers. They narrate how we feel, how we want to feel. And the airwaves was just filled with things that make you want to go to your girl and apologize. What happened to the songs that made you want to go to your girl and say, you know what, I thought about that thing and I'm sorry? What happened to those songs where when you heard it, you call your girl up and say, you know what, girl, I'm sorry, I was tripping. I can't even believe I did that. That's the energy that involved. Music is such a powerful tool that I can't speak for other artists. I mean, we're talking about a big industry here, so it's not like me and my little self is gonna change the way people think as far as artists, but as an artist, that's my responsibility. What I want to do is when you hear my music, I want you to go back to that day where you heard a song and it made you just say, I just called just to say I love you. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder did that song, but sometimes we do feel like that. Sometimes we do call our mate up and say, man, I was just calling to see how you were doing. But that song made you remember that. That song gave you that thought process to think like that. There are so many different elements as to why we've lost love. Where did love go? But it starts with you. If you don't look at love as something worth, and if you only look at it as something that you should receive, then we're going to always live in a restricted society, and we're always going to see kids killing kids or adults killing. We saw what happened with the Trayvon Martin situation. There was some love being lacked in that situation. Now, whether it be how Zimmerman didn't look at a black man as saying that, he needed love, I can't touch that. I can't judge that. I'm not going to judge that. But what I will say is anytime we deal with a situation that's a devastating or an unfortunate situation, there is love that is lacking. My question, my challenge to you is that you look within yourself and say, what can I give to be more loving? What type of love can I give to the world to make the world, I try not to use the cliche, a better place, but hey, if I had a better place, I would like to be there. This world needs some maintenance, and it starts with us. But it can't be about blaming each other. It starts with you. Look within yourself. I wrote a song called Grow, and that song really deals with the finger pointing this way. That's something that I've tried to learn how to do myself, is to point the finger this way and say, what can I do? So my question to you is, if we ask the question, where did the love go? My question to you is, where did you send the love? Where did you take the love? What did you do with the love? And what are you willing to do to give it back? I need it, and I'm sure you need it as well. My name is Dewan, and you've once again watched Unscripted.
DJ Complex.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. reminisce all night.